Hi YouTube, I'm back on YouTube again. Thank you so much for tuning in, those of you who made comments, who liked and subscribed to my channel. I don't think anybody subscribed. But anyways, regardless of that, I just wanted to quickly answer a question that was being asked on my Facebook page about the relevance of neuroscience, education, and art. As it pertains specifically to the way people teach and why this hasn't taken place before, and how come scientists talk very like over your head and not really explaining or not making the information that they're giving or studying or researching relevant to the common man. I would like to give an educated answer on that part, but I think I'm going to stray away from all the political unrest revolving around that part of the question and focus mainly on, if I may, on exactly, and maybe in my answering this part of the question, I'll answer the other part of the question indirectly, still politically correctly. So I hope that this is a little bit louder for people, because I was told the last time that it wasn't loud enough. So I'm just gonna bring myself a little bit closer so you can still see me. And that my hair was very distracting. So I've pulled my hair back. I could still pull it some more back. So yeah, is that better? Okay, so let's get started. So my friend, I'm not gonna call his name, asked me, why is this just happening, and how come, people talk a certain way, and he finds that science is really just a bunch of irrelevant fluff. There are a few things that I can say about the sciences that I'm not really going to say. It'll probably come up later on in another video. But what I do want to say is that when people, scientists have a school of thought, if you may, a way of thinking, a best practice. I don't want to say best practice, because that kind of sounds a little bit like we should do it this way. It's always been done this way. Yeah. Well, the way it works is that there are experiments, theories, and proving those theories and experiments, and conclusions that are being drawn. I'm not a scientist yet, but I do know that I do know these things as a past science student. So when you're developing a school of thought, whether it be new or agreeing to an old school of thought, you have to really remember, and a lot of people make this mistake, very unfortunately, and I hope I don't get into any trouble saying this publicly, because we had the same conversation last night. People make a lot of assumptions about theories that scientists have come up with in the past, whether it be Darwin or Einstein or anybody else. If you're more into the sciences like that, I'm not going to call any more names because I might get in trouble. They have developed schools of thought, and those schools of thought have been proven and challenged, and the challenges have been accepted or denied. Nonetheless, it's a school of thought, and it's the way a school of thought is a tradition, is an intellectual tradition. So we all agree intellectually that this is true. Now, when you want to say to somebody or to a group of people, this is not true, or we can do it this way instead, what do you think is going to happen? That's right. You will be challenged. And that challenge, whether it be accepted or denied, if it is accepted, that is called a paradigm shift. What is a paradigm shift? Exactly. It is a change. You are changing the way people are doing things and have been doing things for a very, very, very long time in some cases. In most cases, if you want to talk science and neuroscience specifically. I would like to continue to say something that that is maybe a little bit politically, maybe very, very political to say. Take, for instance, the procedure of a lobotomy. and how long that was in place, and why it was used. Just an example, just as an example. So while the sciences have come a long way, we are still merging a lot of relationships when it comes to science and what it means for certain sciences to work with the social sciences, which is how people live, behave, respond to certain types of stimuli, environmental wise and otherwise. Um, these are the type of things that we discuss very, very in depth, and are going to discuss in depth in this channel. But to answer that question specifically, we're really talking about a paradigm shift here. And some scientists are on board because they see the need and the relevance for science to be more inclusive in these departments. Um, and other scientists are just like, I don't get it. I don't understand why. I have met teachers who teach math, biology, and physics ask me, why do you need, how do you include the arts in these subjects? I mean, that's impossible. We're going to talk more about that, and so you could greater understand what science's role is. But I must tell you that if you are not or have not been a high school teacher or elementary school teacher who later became a neuroscientist, and I do know some people who have done that, if you are not one of those people, it is very, very, very hard, not impossible, but it is very hard for you to understand why this is relevant, necessary, and needed. So, thank you so much for asking a question. I feel so excited. And please like, comment below, and subscribe, and get yourself into the conversation.